Price is now here to talk to. Would you ever do that? Would you ever let Martin go through your financial affairs?
Do you know, I watch him when he does it, and he's, well, I don't know, it's a bit bare, isn't it? Knowing everything.
You're tremendously good at generating money. We're here today to talk about your latest book, and this is your 40th. This is you, an author, for the 40th time. I mean, you're a money-making machine, you are.
But I don't get to spend it, because unfortunately my brother and business partner Andrew, they don't let me have it.
Well, that's good then, is it?
So it's because it's a limited company I've got. It's like anyone who's got a limited company, that you pay your wage out of it. And I'm not a signature to it. They won't let me, which is probably a good thing.
But that's good, because they're providing for your future eventually.
Exactly, and you hear of all these people who go bankrupt, and I'm like, God, didn't anyone advise them with their money? Because everyone thinks when you're in this industry, you get your money and it's going to last forever, and it really doesn't. Money's like water, like a tap, it just goes. So you have to be
And
careful.
do you spend a lot? I mean, do you like spending? Do you like...
Not on myself. I'm quite high street, River Island, Topshop. The kids I spend more on, but then living out in the farm, just a good old pair of wellies is good enough.
And you still have the horses, do you?
Yeah, I
expensive
buy
hobby, aren't they?
Love it.
Yeah.
So I spend on the horses, you know, on their blingy bits for their bridles and stuff. But no, I wouldn't say I'm a big spender.
Talking about horses, studs, right?
I'm just like, where's this going?
Where's this going? Kieran.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
the
the
new
stud. Oh,
husband.
yeah, he's a stud.
Is it right?
Right.
I knew he was a stripper. Is he still a stripper?
Too right, and he said, oh, now I've got a baby, you know, I'll give it up. I said, no, you're not. You do it on your Saturday night. I said, every man would love to be in that situation, to stand there with all these women adoring him. I said, it's a good little buzz for you.
Well, I'm sure every man would like to be in that, or most of them, but not every wife would. I couldn't go and watch that.
Yeah,
could you? But you go and watch
the
him.
adoration mauling me as I'd be standing there.
Awful.
And my G-string. Is he in a G-string, or is it all...
He gets it all off. Do you know, I'm the most jealous person ever. But when I go and watch his show, the way it's done, the women can't touch him, and at the end, he gets the wombat out. But it's such a good show. There's like 3 guys that do it, and it's quite a laugh. It's like a comical show,
But
really.
I was surprised when I read that, because we've talked before. You say you
Yeah,
are
I am
quite a jealous person,
I am.
as am I. We've mentioned that before. So I was very surprised when I read that you do go and watch him. I thought you couldn't stand to see him.
And not only that, I think he doesn't give me a reason to be jealous, because I can't even believe he's a stripper, because when you meet him, he's so quiet, laid-back, private, and then when he's on stage, he's completely different.
So what was it that first attracted you to the stripper, Kieran?
Well, I wasn't. I kept deleting off my BBM. He kept driving me nuts, and I thought, oh, I might as well just meet him then.
How did you meet him?
Through friends. And so I met him, and I was like, oh, actually, he's all right. But I thought he was a bit too quiet for me. He's very quiet.
Is he?
So I'm the talker, and he's more the listener, but he listens to everything.
So what is it? Because this is your 3rd husband, and it was a very
I know, it sounds really bad, doesn't it? Third time lucky.
3rd time lucky, yeah.
Yes.
But it was quite a whirlwind romance, wasn't it? And then you got married very quickly. So what was it about him?
5 weeks. Can you believe that? Everyone would go, oh, it won't last, but I'll prove them wrong this time.
But what was it about him that made you so sure?
Do you know what's important for me is our family, you know, and his friends. I judge him on his friends, so he's got good friends. And
he was the right person at the right time in your life. I mean, you were at a pretty low point and you needed a bit of security and
with him,
and...
I didn't want to be in a relationship, but then I met him and I was trying not to get into a relationship, and then I just did, and it just works well. Our families are really close now. I don't know, it just all fits. But I know everyone would be sceptical because it's 5 weeks, you know, before we got married.
But then you've never worried about things like that.
No, I don't worry about that.
Now, I want to talk to you because you've had a baby with Kieran, the beautiful Jet, who's beautiful, but what a scary, awful time you had, because there you were in France, and he arrived 8 weeks early.
I know. Well, I'm nuts anyway. I was driving my 7.5-ton pink lorry to France. I thought we'd do a road trip. So I had my friends, her kids in the back, mine in the back, and then we was at our first villa. And then one evening, because Kieran had broke his collarbone, and so he couldn't wash himself, so I was washing him.
What, did he break it stripping?
Fell off the quad bike.
Oh, right.
Yeah, in the field.
Just wondering what...
How'd you break that, stripping?
He's walking the dog.
Taking something off too quickly.
I say walking the dog.
It's the collarbone gone.
I know. So I had to wash him. How glamorous, but I was. And then, you know, I started leaking a bit, and I thought, what's this? And anyway, my waters had broke. So we went to the French hospital, and they couldn't speak English. I couldn't speak French, so I'm sort of going, aqua, 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 like this. And then Kieran was like, that's not even how you say water in French, you know. I was like, whatever, they know what I mean. Anyway, I was in there for 4 weeks.
And did they know why he came prematurely.
Yeah, there was like a rupture in my sac, but they couldn't find it, so every day it kept getting smaller, the sac. But I didn't notice, but apparently when the baby weeds in you, that regenerates the sac, the water.
And because you're so close to your mum and she wasn't there, that must have been tough.
No, we didn't have anyone there, and I couldn't fly back, so I had to stay there on the bed. It was a nightmare, actually. I can't look back at it now, but it really was
And
bad.
did that affect at all? Because, you know, a lot of women say when it's premature, if there's any kind of traumatic birth, sometimes it affects the way you bond with the baby.
I was really worried about that because I had postnatal depression with Junior, but I made it clear to everyone to let me bond with the baby, especially with the family. But being over there, you know, C-section, Kieran wasn't allowed in the room. They just took the baby and they said, oh, you can't see him till the next day. And I'm like, no, I really need to see him, even if it's 30 seconds. I need to acknowledge, you know. And they did, and it's absolutely fine. There's no problem at all.
And how is he now? He's all put on weight and...
Oh, he's like, I call him a little potato, because he's like a little pudding.
I saw a picture of some of the other kids there, Harvey and Junior and Princess. How have they taken to young Jet?
They absolutely love him. There's Princess over there. She like jiggles him about. She tries to copy. She wants to change his nappy all the time. Help me bath him. Junior's always kissing him, and Harvey's accepted him because he draws pictures of him, so I know that he's accepted him. And he goes up to kiss him, even though I'm like, whoa, what's he going to do?
And would you like any more?
Oh,
That's 4 now.
absolutely.
Would you?
Well, I'm going to ask that Russell Grant, isn't it?
Yeah.
They said they want a question. I'm going to say, how many more kids do you think I'm going to have?
What about
So I'd like
Kieran? Is he
loads.
keen to have more?
He's happy to have one. I said, are you joking? I want more than that.
How many do you
As
see
many as
yourself
my
with?
body can have.
Really?
With cesarean, like maybe another 4 if I can.
Why do you want such a big family?
I just love giving love, and I love having love. So I don't want to grow old and have no one around me.
Well, you've enough around you. You've loads of people.
Yeah, but you know,
around
even at home, I'm like Mrs. Dr. Dolittle. I've like got animals everywhere. I don't know what it is with me.
Oh, you've picked the right day. We have 2 donkeys coming into the studio today. Animal sanctuary stuff, which you would love. So the book, Love, Lipsticks and Lies, it's all there. As we say, this is your 40th book. That's not a book, that's a newspaper. That's like you get like one out every day or
Only one
weekly.
thing I'll say about this book, which is different to my book years ago, is now because of privacy laws and everything, phone hackings, you know, that everything in my book has been libel-read, lawyers have gone over it, so everything in there I've had to prove
stand
facts.
behind, yeah.
So it's an interesting read, but people have to remember it is my life, but to other people it's like a drama. But it's mad, it's crazy what actually happens to me.
Drama with a capital D.
Exactly.
Or double D in your
we're
case.
glad you're in such a good, we're glad you're in such a good place because
Yes.
you seem really
I'm glad
happy.
you know the
and-
size of my bra, Eamon.
Don't ask how I know that. That's too much detail. We're hearing the girls are telling me, and the boys, Kieran has been booked for this morning Christmas party.
Hey.
So there you
You've
are.
got to get him on.
Got him, or get him off.
Yeah.
Yes, as the case would be.
Exactly.
Lovely seeing
Thank
you.
you very
Thank you very
much.
much
Thank you.
indeed.
Good to see
That's
you.
Katie Price there, and still to come.